Boris Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lien.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. This is Kathy. If you can hear me and the voice and audio and everything's going well, let me raise my chair. Say hello. Let me know that everything is good and working well this morning. Give me 1 second. Good morning. All okay. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, John. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know that everything is working. Wonderful. Sounds great. Yeah, my new audio system is working very, very well. Wonderful. I am so glad to be back at my desk. I've had a wonderful vacation, and we've had we had a fabulous trading week last week. Usually, it's interesting because usually when I'm on vacation, we tend to have very big moves in the markets, and it's kind of interesting that we had consistent moves. We haven't had very big moves last week, but that could just be the calm before the storm this week, because this is when we really get the big news in the markets. And this is a really huge week, a lot to talk about. But before we get to it, I kind of want to know who's new. If you're new, say hello. Let me know that you're new to our Monday live stream. And this is really the perfect week for all of you to join us and get started, because this is a week where we have such a huge event risk. Hello, Olu. Hello, Daniel. Hello. Welcome. If you're new, same to you, Steve. Welcome to all of you for joining us. You will not be disappointed. We have a lot to talk about. And the goal of today's session is really to help you learn, prepare, and plan your trades for the week. We always look at, what's going on in the markets, what could happen, and, we take in consideration both the bigger story, fundamentals, the sentiment of the market, how everyone's feeling, as well as the technicals and the charts. And this is everything that we take into consideration in order to plan our trade. So welcome all of you first timers to our Monday live stream. So as I said, we have a very, very busy economic calendar. We have, just from the US alone, the Federal Reserve meeting. We have the advanced release of second quarter GDP. So if you're not familiar, there are usually 3 GDP releases: the advance, which is the first one, the first revision, and the second revision. Usually the first and second revision, the market doesn't care so much about, because they kind of already seen the first number. But the first number is very, very important, because it gives us the first taste, the first sense of how the economy did in the second quarter. And so that is what we'll get this week. And that is very market moving. We also have on Friday, guess what we're having on Friday? Pop quiz. I'm going to let you guys type in. What do you think we have on Friday? Hello, Saridad. Hello, Janta. Welcome to our Monday live stream. What do we have on Friday? I know that, we've got a lot of traders here who are with me every single week. I know you know. Yes, always, Peter, another mutant, right on the ball with this. Non-farm payrolls. Non-farm payrolls on Friday will be hands down the most important event risk, because we already know that the Fed isn't going to do anything. But, how much did job growth slow? It's expected 100,000. Could it be less than 100,000? Maybe. I don't know. We will be live trading that with all of you on Friday. So make sure you join us 8:10 a.m., 20 minutes before the non-farm payrolls report on Friday. We're going to be trading it. I'm going to knock on wood. I've got a lot of wood on my desk. We tend to do it very, very well. Last time, one of our attendees made 23,000 in our non-farm payrolls live trading. I'm knocking on wood again. I can't promise that every single time, but we have a very methodical way that we approach trading big news. And so make sure you mark that in your calendar. 8:10 a.m. is when we're going to be live trading non-farm payrolls on Friday. So really big week really big event risk. So just to remind you, our friends at Apex are running a 90% off deal that ends tomorrow. Boris is going to pop that link onto the chat box. It's a really, they do deals, they do specials and they do deals often, but not often with 90% across all of their platforms, Rhythmic, Ninja, Tradeovate, and Wealth Charts. So make sure you grab that deal before it expires tomorrow. Now, on to trading. So first off, let me share with you my heat map. Now, for our BK traders, BK members, I publish this heat map every single week. And if you click on any of these components, they kind of expand to the details, and you'll get more information on what is expected. Like, for example, if you clicked on dollar, euro, I give a deeper explanation of everything that I am looking for. So this is our heat map. For those of you that BK Trader members, make sure you log in, put in the password, and read all of this. But I want to walk you all through this. I mean, the dollar is definitely going to be driving, the US dollar is definitely going to be driving flow this week. And we've got the Federal Reserve rate decision, we've got the US GDP report, and then we have non-farm payrolls on Friday. Now, we are starting off the week a little quieter because we have absolutely nothing on the calendar today, but things will heat up. With tomorrow, we have the JOLTS report, which has become very, very important. That measures job openings. And then we have the consumer confidence report. And then Wednesday, I'm looking at my other calendars, when we have GDP and FOMC. And then on Friday, of course, non-farm payrolls. So whenever Boris, I don't think it's 71% off. I think it's the wrong. It's 90% off. I'm going to delete this right now. It's 90% off, not 70% off. Maybe you want to delete that comment.
Yeah, I'm deleting it. Don't worry about it. Just to focus on.
Okay, so whenever we have rate decisions, I always encourage and teach our traders how to put themselves into the shoes of the central bank. So I'm going to share with you. I realized I was not going to share with you my screen again, which will hopefully share the right screen this time. All right. I always encourage everyone to put themselves into the shoes of the central bank, because you may think, how do all these, PhD economists figure out and determine what the central bank is going to do? Are they running a lot of models? Are they churning a lot of data? And they are, but in many ways, it's easier than you think. What they do is they just look at, and it should be very, very, it should make a lot of sense to you. They just look at how, it's very funny, another meme, they just throw darts on the wall. Hopefully they take a little bit more effort than that. They just look at how did data change, the most important reports that they looked at from their last meeting. So I want you to put on your Federal Reserve hat. Put on your Federal Reserve hat. This is, I've already done the work for you. This is a table comparing how data changed from the last meeting in June to today. And I've also listed in the column whether it's been more dollar bullish changes or dollar bearish changes. If you were the Federal Reserve, what would you vote for? Would you vote for no change, a rate cut, or a rate hike? Another way to ask this, and I want you to type your opinion in the comments box. Another way to ask this is, has there been more bullish or bearish improvements, bullish or bearish changes in the U.S. economy since the last meeting? So I'm hearing another mutant says no cut. Tyone says no hold. Ben says rate cut. Steve says no change. Boris, I don't know why our Twitter comments aren't coming through. I don't know if you can fix that at all. I'm sure there are members on Twitter that are trying to type in their comments as well. And we usually get like the comments on the screen, right? But they're not showing up. That's okay. Anyway, it seems like all of you are saying the same thing. Almost balanced, no change. That's a very nice picture of you and your wife, Bob. Yes, this is exactly what the Federal Reserve is expected to do. I mean, you have already earned your spot on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. You already, got the qualifications, which is that, there are just as much green as there is red. Probably in some ways, usually one of our attendees does the math and runs the numbers really quick. I didn't do it this time. It kind of looks like to me there's a little bit more green than there is red. There's a little bit more data that has improved than it deteriorated. We know that retail sales is up, consumer confidence and the UMich level is up. The conference board numbers down, but that's okay. Labor market activity, overall non-farm payrolls is up. That's actually wrong. Let's just say dollar bullish too. The unemployment rate dropped. Average hourly earnings is down. CPI, which is what the most important thing for the Fed, is up. PPI is down, but they care much more about CPI. Labor housing market activity is pretty much a wash. No, there's as much red as there's green. And then ISM manufacturing and ISM services activity actually improved. And the stock market's up, bond yields are up. So there's definitely a lot more improvements than deterioration in the US economy since the last meeting. So we know that when Jerome Powell and his team met last week, sorry, not last week, but last month, they didn't see a reason to cut interest rates immediately. They said they're still in data dependent mode and they want to see more and there's not enough. Well, another month of data has passed, and according to these reports, there's actually been more. I would argue that there's actually been more improvement than deterioration in the economy since the last Fed meeting. So, as all of you have rightfully pointed out, there are actually more improvements than deterioration in the U.S. economy. And if anything, the Federal Reserve should remain on hold. Now, there's some political reasons for certain governors like Waller to vote in favor of a interest rate cut, but there's absolutely no reason, in my opinion, for the Federal Reserve to cut interest rates this month. And if anything, I think that the guidance is still going to be data dependent, because if you think about it, we have two more non-farm payrolls report before the next meeting in September. We have the one that's coming out this Friday, which the Fed may or may not already have their hands on. And then we have the September non-farm payrolls report that will come out. So they have two more jobs reports. So even if non-farm payrolls comes in closer to 100,000, they'll have one more report before really deciding. So they really can wait to make their decision. They also have at least maybe one, possibly even two inflation reports before the next Fed meeting. So they can remain on hold. They can, wait. This is not one of those meetings where we get the dot plot. This is not one of those meetings where we get the latest economic projections. So for all intents and purposes, the Fed will probably leave interest rates unchanged and their guidance will be wishy-washy. But let's take a look at what the Federal Reserve, what is priced into the market. Because what really matters is not so much, what the Fed is going to do, because we already kind of know that. And it won't be a surprise at all when they leave interest rates unchanged. And it also will not be a surprise if Fed Chairman Powell sounds wishy-washy. So where is the trade? What is the trade? Well, first off, the first question on the trade is to look at what is priced into the market. And you can see we always type in CME Fed Fund Futures. This table shows you what is priced into the market for the meeting. So right now, interest rates are 4.25%, 4.5%. The market is pricing in a 97% chance of no change. And this has pretty much remained unchanged for the past month. So no surprise, no one really expected the Fed to change interest rates. But what about in September? That's really the wild card, right? That's what everyone's figuring out. Will the Fed deliver its very first interest rate cut of the year in September? Well, as I said, interest rates right now are 4.25% and 4.5%. So the market's pricing in only a 38% chance, which is below 50, only a 38% chance of no change in September. And they're in fact pricing in a 60% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. And this is pretty much where it was on Friday. It is slightly more dovish than it was a week ago, but less dovish than where it was a month ago. So a month ago, the market was pricing in like 91% chance of a 25 basis point rate cut. Now it's only 60. So while most people still believe the Fed is going to cut interest rates, they are less convinced that it will happen. So that is also something that's very important to take in consideration, because the market is divided. They think the Fed is going to be divided. So where is the trade? That's what I said. The trade, I think, is number one, going to be on the dissents. There's a very, very good chance that Waller, who is, I believe, one of the candidates to replace Powell, is probably going to dissent in favor of an interest rate cut. If we get another dissent from like Bauman, for example, then and if we get two dissents, which is fairly rare, that would be exceedingly dovish. If we have two members of the Federal Reserve think that, interest rate cuts should happen or vote in favor of a July interest rate cut, then you can expect the US dollar to sell off. If the decision is unanimous, which I don't think is going to happen, then the dollar will probably rally. Now, if we just have Waller voting in favor of a rate cut, which I think is expected, then once again, it's going to depend on Powell. And that is where technicals come into play, where if you look at my chart, you can see that the dollar has been taking a beating against the Swiss franc. It is, kind of unchanged against the yen. It has been weak against, I'm going to remove that. It's been weak against the euro. But it looks like there's been a little bit of a turn happening. Last week, I recently have been talking about a little bit of a run up in the dollar prior to the Fed meeting. But on a technical basis, it looks like we have a top in the euro. I mean, lower highs, big reverses, engulfing candle, which is very bearish. One of my favorite setups, engulfing candles. And then we see that also in pairs like dollar Swiss, where the dollar is trying to bottom. So on a technical basis, it looks like the dollar is trying to bottom. On a fundamental basis, the Fed will probably keep interest rates unchanged. So if we get a situation where only Waller votes in favor of a rate cut, and Powell in his press conference, sounds non-committal to a September move and says we still need to see some more of the data that we've been waiting to see, then the dollar will probably rally. But of course, don't forget, GDP is also being released that morning and is expected to show a contraction. Non-farm payrolls, on the other hand, I don't think is going to be that good. So while we may have a little bit of dollar strength going into FOMC, we may end up with a dollar weakness on the back of NFPs. So as a trader, how am I going to trade this? What is the trade? So my trade, I think, is that I think the dollar is still a buy ahead of Wednesday. So I'll be looking to buy. So I'm going to be looking to buy dollars or leaning towards long dollar trades when we trade tonight at the Asia Open and the New York Open on Tuesday. But, then on Wednesday, I'm going to not trade ahead of FOMC. And then after that, depending on the outcome, we'll trade on Thursday, and then we'll only live trade on Friday. And when I say trade, what I mean is we're going to be trading my zip setup. We're going to be trading my zip setup, basically. Tonight, tomorrow, we had a bunch of beautiful zip buy signals. Last night at the Asia Open, this is a zip buy signal at the Asia Open in dollar Swiss. And then we had a double zip buy signal at pretty much around the London Open. And that really, signaled a beautiful long trade in dollar Swiss. And for those of you that want to learn more about how to trade zip, make sure you join our free community. Boris, if you don't mind dropping our free community link, it's just going to be bit.ly, join BK Traders. You can click on get instant access, put in your name. I'm not going to put it in. I put in my junk email account, so don't email me there because I don't check it. So you click let me in. It lets me in. Some of you confused by how it gives you like an offer. You can look through the offer. That's only given one time only, but it says your access is on the way. And so check your inbox for the link to access our free community, because once you join our free community, you will, in our community, I'm going to wait for it to load. You get a lot of really valuable information, including my Forex starter course. If you click on learning in the Forex starter course, you will get a lot of videos, including the video on how to trade ZIP. So
And
how to learn the strategy, how to trade ZIP.
And also you're going to get my day trading course, where all of the strategies are shown to you, as well as all the day trading tricks in terms of how to integrate all the platforms and how to trade them and everything else you guys ask me all the time. That's all literally free to you to watch on demand. There's 20 hours worth of incredibly useful content you can watch at any given time. So enjoy it.
So lots of really great information. But the point I want to make is that I'm going to be ZIP dollar is in my buy zone because the background is green. It's above the indicator line. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities to buy dollar tonight ahead of the FOMC rate decision on Wednesday. And then we'll see how things go. We'll see how things flip. I won't trade on Wednesday. If you see my BK Traders community in our VIP member chat, we lay out our trading schedule. We never trade the first day of the week because it's 50-50 odds. Those are not good enough for me. I like to trade with high probability where we win. We have a chance of winning about 80% of the time. We're trading Monday at the Asia Open, Tuesday at the New York Open. We're not trading ahead of US FOMC and GDP. We're trading Wednesday Asia, Thursday morning, and then we're live trading non-farm payrolls. So that should be part of your trading plan. You want to make sure that you don't trade ahead of some very important reports, because this is probably one of the most important weeks of the year for the markets. And so you need to know, I always say you need to know when to trade and when not to trade. And, we had another very, very successful week of trading ZIP, where I guess I don't know if I posted our ZIP results, but we had another really, really great week of trading ZIP, 100 plus pips. I guess I didn't tally it, but 125 pips, I think, trading ZIP this week. And part of the reason and part of the success is, once again, knowing when to trade and when not to trade. And part of the reason why you come here is to set your trading plan. It's Monday tonight, tomorrow, all day tomorrow, really great trading opportunities. Make sure that you really look for those opportunities. And then Tuesday, and then before FOMC, you want to stand pat. You could potentially trade Tuesday Asia, but I like to stay out. We'll see. And then Wednesday, Thursday, really great trading opportunities. And then no trading Tuesday night. And then we'll wait for non-farm payrolls live trading on Friday, because those are significant amount of events that you want to stand on the sidelines. So that is not the only central bank rate decision that we have. We also have the Bank of Japan rate decision. Let me see if I can pull this over here. So Bank of Japan rate decision. I don't personally trade London, somewhere in the Rockies, but a lot of my members do. And we have the alert set up so that if it's set up during the London session, you could trade that as well. But I have to sleep sometime. And so I'm asleep during the London session and London Open. And we trade the London Open between 2 to 3 a.m. New York time. So anyway, Bank of Japan. All right. Put on your BoJ hat. Looking at this table, do you think the BoJ should raise interest rates or leave it unchanged? I want you to type in the box. If you were the BoJ looking at this, the last time you left interest rates unchanged, you're not thinking about cutting interest rates. Everyone's talking about when you're going to raise interest rates. Looking at this table, will you raise interest rates or leave it unchanged? All right, let's see if someone has an answer here. Tom says unchanged. Fred says unchanged. Fred Field. Andrew, I can always rely on you. Unchanged, unchanged, unchanged from all of you. And including Steve, Tom, I love the engagement. Peter, always on the ball with this. I like that picture, Peter. Wonder what your background is. Okay. So yes, the Bank of Japan is widely expected to leave interest rates unchanged. But this table does not incorporate one very important thing. And that one very important thing is that Japan has finally reached a trade agreement with the US. And I kind of think it's final. I think they think it's final. Beautiful Matterhorn. I think that's in Switzerland, right? I really want to go there sometime. This does not include the trade deal that they reached. And so there's finally some certainty. 19% is the tariffs that they will be paying. Obviously, tariffs are bad, period. And so it's going to hurt their economy, but at least there's certainty. Taking a look at this table, retail sales, consumer spending has not been that great. You can see that up here, retail sales, all pretty much bearish. Labor market conditions also deteriorating. Inflation, which is the most important part for the Bank of Japan, is lower than where it was the previous month. But I mean, above 3% is bad news. Every central bank wants their inflation levels to be around 2%. So 3% is very, very bad news. And so this is part of the reason why the market has been talking about how it's time for the BoJ to consider cutting interest rates, because it's been, it's too high, it's been bad news, things like that. And so even though it's lower, another one rate hike at least is expected this year. Eco Watcher survey, there's been improvements. Trade, there's been improvement. PMIs are kind of mixed. JGB yields are up. Nikkei is up. Okay, so here's the deal with the BoJ. You're absolutely right, all of you, that they are not expected to change interest rates at all. But while they're not expected to change interest rates, first of all, this is an important meeting because this is one of those meetings where they will update the growth and inflation forecast. So remember, I told you the Fed is not updating anything. They're doing that next month in September. That's why September is such a big meeting. And that's what usually, when they crunch their numbers, they update the forecast, they feel prepared to make a change in interest rates. This is one of those meetings for the BoJ where they crunch their numbers, make their forecast, but they will not be making a change in interest rates. What they could be doing, though, is suggesting that it may be time to raise interest rates, or it may be time soon to raise interest rates. So I think that could happen. I think that now they have some certainty and they know that, inflation is high but moving lower. And in other parts of the world, they're not as at such alarming rates that perhaps they could very well raise interest rates. And so I think that's really what the market is focusing on. If we get any type of positive comments from the BoJ governor, we could get a little bit of a rally in the Japanese yen. But then again, it's also important to realize that, BoJ rate decision in the context of a week where we do have Federal Reserve rate decision is going to be far less market moving. So that's also something to pay attention to. So BoJ is meeting. I think it's going to be slightly positive bias for the BoJ. And that would be consistent with maybe some of the pullbacks that we're already seeing in maybe not so much dollar yen, because dollar yen is strong, but definitely in like euro yen, for example. It's moved from the buy zone, zip buy zone, to the zip sell zone. And this is actually what I call a zip variation. This is one of the variations for zip that we trade. But it's moved from the buy zone to the sell zone. And so that, and if we look at the daily charts, you can see too that there are signs of this is another engulfing candle, signs of a near-term top in euro yen. And so if we do have some hawkishness from the BoJ, that would be consistent with all of that. So I would be, once again, looking to trade more of the euro yen, Swiss yen, CAD yen than dollar yen itself. Then we also have the Bank of Canada rate decision. Which one is this? This one right here, the Bank of Canada rate decision. Wow, look at this. What do you think? If you were the Bank of Canada and you saw this and you put together your table on how your economy changed from one meeting to the last, are you going to cut interest rates or keep them unchanged? What do you think? There hasn't been more consistency in any of the tables I've shown you than the Canadian chart. What do you think? Based upon this, are you going to leave interest rates unchanged or cut them? You guys are so smart. You should take the job of the central bank governors, or at least on the boards, because you are answering all of the questions absolutely correct, which is that, first off, there's a ton more improvements than deterioration in Canada's economy. And if anything, like Taillon said, Taillon Sikivu, what a beautiful name. And I'm sure I'm saying it wrong. If you were looking at this, maybe you would think that you should be, maybe you were thinking that maybe you should be raising interest rates, not cutting them. Well, regardless, the Bank of Canada is definitely not expected to change interest rates at all. Because if you look at this, first off, the retail sales levels have improved. You can see that retail sales are up. Employment conditions, this was a blowout jobs report for Canada. Inflation is up, although it is still on a headline basis below 2%. Housing market activity is up. IVPMI is above 50. All of the indicators for market indicators are up as well. So a lot of reasons to be positive, more positive in the economy than negative. So if anything, the Bank of Canada is not going to change interest rates. They're probably going to they're pretty much done. They're near the end. They may not even, the market thinks there could be a possibility of one more, but I think they're pretty much done. I mean, of course, they've got a reserve judgment. We're only halfway through the year. We saw how much dramatic change happened in just the last 6 months of Trump's term. So everyone has to reserve judgment on what could happen the next 6 months of the year. But for the time being, the arguments are there. They should be done maybe. That, there's no reason for them to suggest that interest rate cuts should be coming. So, I think that CAD should probably be more positive than negative this week, because I think that CAD is probably going to be a situation where it outperforms. It outperforms maybe the yen, it outperforms the dollar, things like that. So, definitely looking for maybe not so much against dollar CAD, but this is where the crosses could come into play. Euro CAD, huge engulfing candle. And we'll talk about Euro in a second. Huge engulfing candle. These engulfing candles are very, very significant in my opinion. Aussie CAD, Kiwi CAD, CAD Swiss, those could all be, look, I really like this CAD Swiss chart. Really, really nice opportunities to the upside for the Canadian dollar. So, Euro, how could we not talk about Euro? The biggest news this morning is, of course, the fact that EU finally reached a trade deal with the US. 15% tariffs, far less damaging than the 50% tariffs that were threatened. I don't even know how many weeks ago, but 15% tariffs. That should be good news, right? When Japan, their tariffs were reduced from 25% to 19%, the yen rallied. Why in the world is the euro not rallying? Why is the euro falling? If you're confused about this, give me a question mark. If you're confused why the euro is falling instead of rising on what is, in some ways a pretty good trade deal, let me know, because I'm only going to answer it if you let me know that you are confused. Because if you are not confused, then I'm going to move on. Why in the world is the euro down when the agreement is so much more palatable? Okay. All right, sounds like you guys know, right? ECB left interest rates unchanged last week. They are in no rush to cut interest rates again. This is the part of the reason why, euro rallied into ECB, which we expected, and then just kind of held its gains. Why? Why in the world? Ryan's the boldest one to ask, Steve as well, is the euro down? And the reason for that is because it's not really. First of all, Nico is absolutely right. Trade deal is disaster for any economy. But it's not so much that. It is that, of course, but it's a range. It's not just 15%. 15% is a headline number. It's 15 to 50%. 15% is the number that they're going with, but the steel and aluminum tariffs for right now will remain at 50%. Now, of course, that could change, blah, blah, blah. We all know that. But right now, the steel and aluminum tariffs will remain at 50%. And the exports on things, including cars, which obviously is very, very important, will be at 15%. And so, pharmaceuticals will be at 15%. But there are still things that will remain at 50%. And that is kind of what is worrying a lot of investors, which is that there's still items that remain at 50%. The steel and aluminum tariffs has been a big focus. It is still damaging for the economy, and they're still waiting for more details on that. And so in some ways, maybe it is buy the rumor, sell the news. The euro has rallied quite a bit. We finally get the trade deal. It's good. I think it's better than what we could expect. At least it's not 25%. 15% is better than some of the other numbers we've seen. But it's still tariffs, and the steel and aluminum tariffs are still there. Right now, euro's falling. We have, as traders, have to respect the price action. As much as we may or may not think that it should have rallied because they reached a trade deal and this yen rallied when the trade deal was good, euro is falling. We've got to respect that. And on a technical basis, it looks like this move, especially with this engulfing candle, should at least get down to this low here, 115.50, which is a good amount of profit move for a lot of traders. I mean, it's 80 pips. I think there's a very high probability chance that we're going to move to the bottom here. So that is different. I don't know what you're talking about, Fred. Maybe I'm wrong, but US EU trade deal, 15%. Senior officials are saying 15%. Bloomberg just reported 15%. Forbes just reported 15%. I'm not sure where you're.
It is definitely 15%.
Yeah, I'm not sure where 19% is for Japan. I'm not sure where you're getting the 15% from. It's 15%. Anyway, I lost my train of thought. So what I was trying to say is that we have to respect the price action. It's getting to it's probably going to fall to 115.50. And that would be consistent with my overall view that the dollar will rally ahead of FOMC, and that I'm going to be long, and I'm going to stay long US dollars ahead of the FOMC rate decision. And there's a very good chance that we could go down to 115.50 in the euro dollar minimum before we stabilize ahead of the Federal Reserve's rate decision. So I'm neutral bearish euros at this point. What else do we have? Where's my heat map? Over here. I'm bearish pounds. We have no data, very little data from the UK this week. So pound is going to trade almost exclusively on the market's appetite for US dollars. So pound, this looks like a head, a left shoulder, a right shoulder. For those of you that are familiar with this, it looks like we've got a head and shoulders pattern here in pound. And so the neckline is right about, I would say, here. So keep an eye out for it. Pretty much right around here. If we drop below the neckline, we could see a more significant move lower in pound dollar, but it definitely looks more bearish than bullish for the pound dollar. And like I said, we have no major UK data this week. We came off of a week of very weak UK data. So there's still more downside to upside. Skipping over the Kiwi, there's also no New Zealand data. So Kiwi is going to trade exclusively off of US dollar flows. And also it's, looks like it's rolling over, and it definitely looks like it wants to at least test these lows here at 59 cents. So that's a pretty chunky move there as well. Now, as for dollar yen, as I said, I'm bullish dollars going into the Fed meeting. There is pretty significant resistance up here at the 200 SMA. So I think it's probably going to peter out around here and just consolidate. I think there's going to be more opportunity in euro, some of the other currencies ahead of the BoJ and the Federal Reserve rate decision. Bank of Canada, we are above the 50 SMA on a technical basis. It looks like it wants to go up here. We'll have to see. Of course, there's a lot of moving parts and uncertainty related to the dollar. So it's probably going to consolidate a bit. But I like the buying CAD more against some of the other major currencies. Now, there are two other things to be focusing on this week. One of them is the fact that the tariffs for a lot of the countries that have been announced, those tariffs will take in effect on August 1st, which is Friday. So can that be extended? Will that happen? Friday is a big day aside from NFPs because of that uncertainty. So the beginning of the tariffs could hit stocks. It could create uncertainty, especially if non-farm payrolls turns out to be a little weaker. The other big event is that the US and China are in trade talks right now. And there's a widespread belief that the truce that they have announced, which what's the date? Which is expected to I think it's the 12th, I believe, could be extended. So if that is extended, the trade truce, the tariff pause is extended, that's going to be positive for Aussie and Kiwi. So that will affect Aussie and Kiwi specifically, as well as risk appetite. The other thing, the main focus for Australia this week is going to be inflation data. And, that's always important. With the inflation data, we did have slightly weaker prices according to the TD inflation prices. So there is more downside risk than upside risk. That happens tonight. So we get a little bit of data tonight, and then it's all going to be focused on the US dollar itself. Aussie does look like it's a little firmer than some of the other major currencies. So, that's basically the outlook for the major currencies in a nutshell. Just running through the calendar quickly, just so that you are prepared again. Nothing really happening today, nothing on the calendar. Tomorrow we have the JOLTS report, which is very important. It's become much more important, the number of job openings, along with consumer confidence. So you could definitely expect the dollar to move then. Tuesday evening, we've got the inflation data from Australia. So that's, markets expecting slightly softer number. Wednesday is when the action really kicks up. We've got the GDP numbers from the Eurozone. That's going to be very, very important. And the German GDP number is expected to show contraction, which would be bearish for euros. We have ADP, which is important. Then we have the GDP from the US. That's expected to be a little bit stronger on a quarterly basis, a little bit weaker on an annual basis. We have the BOC rate decision, Bank of Canada rate decision, and then the Federal Reserve rate decision. So Wednesday is a huge day in the markets. And as you can see, Fed and BOC expected to leave interest rates unchanged. Wednesday night, we have retail sales from Australia, Japan. We have the BoJ rate decision. So that comes after FOMC. So that'll be very market moving as well. Thursday, we get a bit of a reprieve. We can respond to what happens in the Fed and the BoJ and trade on Thursday. But we do have German labor market numbers, Swiss retail sales, so still quite a bit of data. And then we have CAD GDP numbers, personal income, personal spending from the US, so still quite a bit of data from the US. And then finally on Friday, we have Eurozone inflation data, which is expected to be slightly weaker. And then, of course, non-farm payrolls, which is expected to drop from 147,000 to 108,000. If we go below 108,000, that could be very dollar bearish. If we are 125, the market will probably cheer that and drive the dollar higher. And that will be a very, very big event, which is why make sure you mark on your calendars. We're going to be live trading with you on Friday at 8:10 a.m. So make sure you join us for that. Now, as I said, the week is going to be very, very busy. Make sure that you join our free community because I'm going to be posting videos. I'm going to be, keeping you all updated. Just go to, bit.ly /BK Traders. Hit that link that Boris texted. Click on Get Instant Access. The access will be sent to your inbox. Then you'll get access to so much that I'm posting every single day. You can also ask questions, to me, to Boris, and lots, of videos, free trading courses, lots of really great information here. And then finally, before Boris comes in and says hello, don't forget that our friends at Apex, they've paid out $500 million. They're the biggest futures prop trading firm out there. $500 million paid out to their members, and they're running a 90% off sale on any platform: Rhythmic, Tradeovate, Ninja, and Wealth Charts, and that ends tomorrow at midnight. So make sure that you take advantage of that as well. All right, Boris, you want to come on and say hello?
Hi guys, hi guys, hi guys. Have I got a show for you today? I've been blowing it out since I last saw you on Friday. I can't wait to show you the tweak on the setup to get our scalping all started. I have accounts funded. I have accounts in process of getting funded. I have an account that's almost ready to get funded. We're going to have a lot of fun. Everybody who's listening to me today, very, very, very important announcement. Tomorrow, we're going to do Marathon Tuesday. We're going to trade 6 a.m. to 12 noon, maybe 12 noon, 12, certainly to 11 a.m. We're going to go 5 hours hardcore with everything that I'm showing you. And it's going to be awesome. So without much ado, let me get started. How's everybody doing? Give me a hi. Hope you guys are making money. I'm going to show you all the positive trades I did today. It's going to blow your mind. Give me just a second here to set this up. Here we go. I want to go in here and I want to share my screen. All right, beautiful. Okay, you guys should be able to see everything. Give me a yes. You guys see the screen. You see me. Everybody is rocking. What time is it? It's 9:30 in the morning. We got a big pop in the NASDAQ, which is going to be if this thing holds, it's going to be a signal for me, although we'll have to see. No, not really. It's not a signal. It's fading. Okay, we'll leave it alone. Generally, I don't want to trade the first 5 seconds of the open anyways, but I'm going to show you. Look at this. I want to show you the trades with me overnight. Winner, 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 chicken dinner, winner, 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 chicken dinner. Okay, all winners just in this account. Then we have the other account. See here. This is the other account. Where's my? Let's see if I can go settings. Cancel. Oh, it's the big account. I was trading the big account. Winner here, and then if we go into the other funded account, just to show you, this is just from last night. Just from last night and today. I'm going to show you what the hell I've been doing. Where is this thing? Here we go. Winner, 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 chicken dinner. This is like 3 or 4 accounts. I have 2 more other accounts I can show you, but you guys get the idea. How am I hitting every single one of my dot trades? What the fuck am I doing? That is so amazing. Do you guys want to know? Does anybody want to know? How the hell have I been able to hit like literally 18 trades in a row today? With I think one loss. How did I accomplish this using my dot structure? I want to see like 5 thumbs up to tell me that you guys want to know how I did this. Let's go back to I want to go back. This account is $500 from funding, so we'll try to work this account on here. And then we're going to go to, let me just organize this. And then we're going to go to the gold accounts. Where's my gold accounts? And we actually have, I actually have a gold set up here too. So let's. I'm gonna just focus on the gold trade right now, because I have an absolute setup here, and we're gonna trade this. Let me put this into let's say the 115 account. Why not? No, I want to put this into the 160. No, I want to put this into the 110 account. Okay. So, shit, I'm fucking around too late. I'm a little bit late on my execution. Okay, so we're in gold. We'll see. Boom. And I don't have to say anything. That trade was done. How am I doing this? How the fuck am I doing these winning trades all the time? Anybody want to know? Anybody want to know? Okay. I'm going to tell you. And I'm going to do this with you over and over and over again tomorrow. So bring every friend you know, anybody who's interested in the markets, bring them over into the YouTube Live. I haven't even posted it yet, so just be sure to make sure that you go to our YouTube channel and get the link, because I'm going to post it after the show. I'm going to explain to you exactly how I'm hitting every one of these trades, and it's the easiest thing in the world. It's the easiest thing in the world. Yeah, I'm following the rules, Tony, but there is a very specific rule that I'm doing. Like right now, it's actually setting up. It's actually setting up. Let's go to we're gonna go to the minis. Come on, baby. I'm going to show you what the rule is. Okay. So we have a simple 3-rule structure. The candle has to be green. The slope has to be green. The dot has to be green for a long trade, right? Go, go, go. Three things go. There's one little tweak that I made that makes all the difference. You know what it is? The prior candle, the candle before this candle, has to not be a dot. Has to not be a dot. It can either be a red dot or a neutral candle, meaning the opposite dot or neutral candle. You need, let's go over here. Buy. Okay, we're long this thing. You need that acceleration signal to get you into the trade. You need that accelerant signal to get you into the trade, right? Boom, done. Thank you. Second trade in a row. How the fuck am I doing this? Amazing, right? Amazing. How am I hitting every one of these goddamn trades? Because that is the absolute secret. It hit me on Friday, and I'm not kidding you. Like 25 trades since then, I think I've had one loser doing it this way. It's just been money, money, money. Of course, the only fucking loser I had today was gold because it's a piece of shit product, but it doesn't matter. Even in gold, I was able to make winners against just one loser. So my point is, there is this one tiny little tweak we need to optimize for, and if we make that optimization, we're golden. We're golden. That is our ticket to scalp heaven. We just scalp over and over and over again with this stuff. Okay? Okay. No, my ADX, my dot base is not an ADX. It's pure price action. I don't have anything to pollute. It's the purest indicator you can imagine, with almost no derivative math inside there. Anytime you're using ADX, anytime you're using any kind of derivative math, you're moving away from the truth of the price. This indicator is almost all price driven. It's like 90% price driven and 10% derivative driven. So that's why it's so good at picking up the actual turns. It doesn't fucking matter, Ali. It absolutely doesn't matter. Trend, counter trend, it hits them both. Just as long as you got the right structure, which is you need the pause candle before you hit the sell candle. You need the pause candle before you hit the sell candle. Once you got that, you are golden as a trader. Remember, like we were dealing with, how do we scalp all these dots? You know, we're scalping one dot after the other dot after the other dot. And it's like sometimes it was working, sometimes it wasn't. And I realized that the thing that makes it work almost all the time is the pause. You need the pause before the burst. The pause before the burst. Once you get the pause burst sequence, you're golden, because that is where momentum lives. Momentum lives in that pause before the burst. Okay? Is that clear to everybody? Does everybody have it? Give me some yeses that you understand the tweak, that you understand what I'm doing. Let's go. Give me some yeses here, because this is gold, guys. This is a path for you guys to getting all funded. By the way, go out there and buy as many apexes as you can right now. Let me see if I can put this in here. Ah, fuck. I hate this thing. For some reason it's okay, just a second. Let me just do it. Let me do it the old-fashioned way. I'll just cut and paste. For some reason, my thing is just not letting me. It's got like an old bug in the template. Okay, here's the Apex code. Go out there, go get it, please. Let me put this on here. Okay. Yes, I'll show you a lot more examples of the move as soon as it shows up on the screens. Okay, as soon as the move shows up on the screens, we'll show. Let's see if there's anything in gold. Not quite in gold, but let's watch gold. If gold goes positive slope, positive candle, positive green dot over here, that could be a setup for us to go positive gold. Okay, we're gonna wait. We'll see if the gold gives us a signal. Nasdaq is not giving us a signal because we have a negative slope. Let me get rid of all these. Let me get rid of all my executions, so it's really clear for you on the charts. We can see the charts really clean. Same thing over here. Who's asking me? Somebody's asking me about Franco. Do they allow you to copy trade the evals? Do you have to pass? No, you can copy this. Like, there are people who do like notorious for doing 20 evals. They do like one trade, boom, it hits, and they get 20 evals funded. Absolutely. You want to do that, my friend? Be my guest. Be my guest. They're very cool about that. They're really cool. I will review, Wally. The best way for me to review is to show you in real live action, right? But if you want to see it on the chart, it's basically, let me mark it for you. I'm going to give you the check mark of what is a trade and what is not a trade. What is the proper trade? What is not a proper trade? This is a proper trade. This is a proper trade. Oops, hang on a second. This is a proper trade. Let me go underneath here, right? So I'm buying this. This is a proper trade, okay? This is a proper trade. Okay, you know what's not a proper trade? Okay, everybody sees the proper trades. Here's the improper trade. Here are the trades where you shouldn't be trading. Not okay. Everybody sees the difference, and if you don't worry about it. I will, I will show you in real time. Everybody vibing? All right, let's see where we're at. We're almost. I'm 450 away from funding this account, this 50,000 account. Okay, which I really want to do today or tomorrow. And look at this, 44 seconds. This is a trade. You see that? The prior candle is not a dot. We got red slope, red dot, red candle. The prior candle is not generating momentum. So we want to sell this thing if it stays in place. We got 27 seconds left. We're going to watch the gold trade. If this thing stays in place, we're going to short this thing. 15, 14 cents. We're gonna, let me just short this thing right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, sell. All right, we short this. What account is this? What am I in? Oh, I'm in 110. We can look at wealth charts, and I'm 110. The target is 21.3. We'll see if we can get there. And we're right there. We're trading. We should be trading. And we're done. The very fact that I can make money on this piece of shit product is a testament to how good the strategy is, right? You know how much I despise gold? You know how much I hate trading the fucking thing? And the very fact that I'm hitting trades on this thing is just a testament to how good the strategy is, right? Come on. Let's see a little bit of... give me some claps. Give me some love, please. Anyways, one thing I wanted to talk to you about, which so many people ask me. Ali says he loves this. The shortcut, the size shortcut, easiest way to remember the proper size for every trade. You guys want to know? Anybody want to know? Let me see some yeses. Let me see that you guys are not asleep today. All right, let's go look to see what we're doing here. Oh, I got to set up. 21 seconds left on NAS. 21 seconds left on NAS. All right. Watching the NAS. Let's see if NAS is going to set me up. 9 seconds, 8 seconds, 7 seconds, 5 seconds. Buy. All right. In NAS, let's see if this is going to do anything for us. Hopefully it'll reach. So here's the shortcut for sizing that almost will never steer you wrong. Whatever is the size of the account, and we're done. And we're done on that. That was super fast. Another winner. Okay, $25,000 account. Take the first number, 2 micros. $50,000 account. Take the first number, 5 micros. $150,000 account. Take the first 2 numbers, right? 15 micros, or let's say, one mini or 2 minis. It's the easiest way to remember the proper sizing. Just the first number of the actual face value of the account will give you the proper sizing. Thank you, Rick. It makes it so easy. Makes it so easy to remember. Okay. All right. All right. Nothing on NAS. Kind of quiet. Gold is going down now. Here's the thing. Yeah. Gold is going down. But remember, I said to you, we can chase the dots, but eventually we're going to hit the low, right? Doing this kind of a separation where you're pacing off of a non-momentum candle really first does a couple of really good things. It keeps you from just over trading, but it also really gives you a lot more precision than you think. Yes, I don't give a shit that I'm missing 2 continuity trades to the downside. The job here is to hit as many possible trades as you can and stay out of trouble as much as you can, right? This also, by the way, I know Fabio and everybody else who wants to size up. Like, I'm actually moving away from the idea of sizing up. And the only recommendation I have is if I have a trade that I lose, the maximum I want to size up is 2 times my original size, which is why on a 50,000, the max I'm ever going to do is 1 mini. And the max I'm ever going to do on a 25,000 is a 4 micro. Okay. But this, by pacing you out, it absolutely gives you a much higher success rate on the second resolution trade if you need it to do. I set all my stops and targets the same as before. It's got nothing to do. Stops and targets are always the same. It's the entry that matters. I only do 1 repair trade, and I've generally sort of stayed away from repair trades. I pretty much try to not to do repair trades as much as I can. And remember, if I lose, the single most important thing, if I lose in a trade, the very first thing I do, what's the very first thing I do? Let's see if you guys know what I do. What's the number one trick to never blowing the account? Yeah, you can do whatever you want, Stephen. If you want to, there's lots of different variations. We talk about them in my coaching. By the way, you guys want my coaching? If you guys want the coaching, this is actually a really good deal on coaching because, hang on a second. You know what? I got to fucking move this thing. My camera is driving me crazy. Okay. Here's a cool thing on coaching. I'm going to put the coaching link in here. Is it working? Oh, no. Sorry. Is it 365? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Here's my coaching link. If you want my coaching, by the way, definitely a setup in gold. I know this looks crazy. This looks crazy as hell, right? Gold is just really dumping. But you got a we have a non-dot candle followed by a dot candle. So it's really legit. Let's go see what NASDAQ is doing. NASDAQ's got nothing. No trades on the NASDAQ. So gold really dropping like a stone. Jesus Christ, I can't even keep up with this thing. Holy fuck. This is killing my my charts here. 59 seconds left. Let's see what we can do on gold. Anyways, coaching. Those of you guys who are listening who are not part of my coaching, today and tomorrow, your last chance from it goes away and it goes away. This is why we're so grateful for the dots candle. Look how it keeps us out of a total fake out move. I'll buy you five $25,000 Apex accounts if you hit this coaching link right now. That's going to be until tomorrow, and then after that, it's done. So don't lose the opportunity. All right, actually, I got to be watching this, guys, because this is kind of legit trade. Still legit trade. 8-9 seconds left. We're gonna wait till this thing closes. 4, 3, 2, 1, sell. All right, we short this thing. Let's see what we can do here. I wouldn't be surprised if this thing, stops me out because it's really deep and it's deep into the zone. But it's the setup that I'm trading. I want to show you the full process of the setup. Oh, and it got done. See, look at that. It got done. Ba-boom. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. It was so much selling pressure that despite the fact that it was super low, we killed it. You see how cool that is? You see how cool that is as a setup? It's a pure scalp setup. Oh shit, I missed the NAS setup a little bit here. You know what? Let's do a small one. Let's do just one. This just to show you because I want to show you. So this is a tiny trade. It's probably good. Hopefully it will work. I'm a little bit late on the entry, and I kind of missed the setup, so I didn't want to do the full half size. But let's see if this one works again. This is a 1775 target right over here. You can see it right on the thing, right? Should have been in at 11, and it still gets done, and we still get done, and we're still viable. The setup, I don't even know. How many trades did I do with you guys already? 7 trades. We haven't hit a single loser. No, maybe I hit one loser with fucking gold, which is not a surprise. But like literally 7 trades in a super fast but a non-stressful, totally doable, replicable way. Manoj, if you really want to know the answer to that, become a part of my coaching, okay? But I'll tell you right now, we use a 4 take profit, 16 stop loss. Very negative stop loss. If you really want to know why we do this, come to my coaching, okay? But if you guys like what you're seeing, if you like the fact that we're winning virtually every single trade and driving these accounts higher. Oh, Rick, thank you. Look at this. I don't even solicit this. And it's still good. Thank you, Rick. I'm gonna screenshot this because I really like this. That's really nice. Thank you. Now I gotta put this into my wait, hold on a second. I'm gonna screenshot it again, Rick, because everybody Kay is always yelling at me, where are the testimonials? And they're always there, but I always forget how to save them. Thank you, Rick. It's really nice for you to say that. I don't do copy trading service, my friend. We're not in a copy trading business. We are in teaching you how to trade business. You can do copy trading yourself. You can use free copy trader in Wealth Charts, which is an amazing product. built-in copy trader for free. You can buy 10 Apex accounts, do all these trades through copy trader, and just basically get 10 accounts funded if you want to do that. By the way, holy shit, look at gold. Look at gold falling off a cliff, right? Wow. That was a totally interesting move to the downside. That's amazing. Okay, you know what, guys? Thank you for all this unsolicited, all these unsolicited testimonials. I love you. I thank you so much, because now I can show the queen that scalping is not just for degenerates. Yeah, I know it's late for you, Enzo. I know. Anyways, gold just dropping like a stone right now. Really, really deep. I mean, look at this, a 30-point move in gold, just a complete decline. Meantime, Nasdaq is nice and steady to the upside. What is that, Karen? You never said what? What is that? Redegenerates? Redegenerates? Is that what we are? Proud degenerate trading. Those of you guys who are new, who haven't traded with us ever. By the way, actually, who's new here? Come on. Show hands. Say hi to me. All the people who are new. Okay, people who are old are all making money hand over fist here. I want to know who the new people are. Wasn't it for degenerates? You said it wasn't for degenerates? No. I just I was just joking around that Kay always kids around that I'm basically just doing degenerate trading all day long, and I'm like, see, people love me for it. That's all. That's what I was just saying. Olu, hi. Olu, you're not new, man. You're part of the crew already. I want people who have never been in the show. This is the first time. Thank you. Thank you, Steve. Here's QNPMH. Hi, QNPMH. Where are you from? Tell us if you've traded futures before. Who wants to trade futures? Let's do a little bit of polling here. Let's do a polling here. Let's say I want to learn futures trading. Tell me how many of you guys say yes or no to this. Oh yeah, Tony, you were in Qatar. Tony was like literally in the middle of quasi war zone over there, right? Don't worry, Tony. You came back at the best time. Today, literally is the day where I'm showing the perfect setup. Today is the perfect setup. And we're going to do this, like as I said, we're going to do Marathon Tuesday tomorrow. We're going to go 6 hours from 6 in the morning. I'm going to get a nice big cup of coffee, and we're going to go crazy. 6 hours of trading. I'm going to trade this over and over again. I'm going to trade this so many times with you guys tomorrow that it's going to be seared into your brains. All right, another setup in the NQs. Okay, I got 33 seconds left. The only thing I wish is that my miserable allergies would go away, so I don't look like a coke addled. I don't look like Hunter Biden every 5 seconds, right? I'm really looking like a crack addict every time I. Okay, we got 6 seconds, 5 seconds. This is legit trade. Boom, we're long. 24 is a target. 24 is a shit. I'm long. I should have had size on this. I'm sorry, guys. I had this should have been 5 size. All right, it's fine. You know what we can do? for, it's the beauty of, I'm missing it. Okay, no, I'm going to go this. Okay, so I'm in on this size, and I'm going to bring myself, this has got done. All right, so we got done. So I want to show you something very cool. This is, obviously, I'm doing this on my own account, and you're seeing me kind of play around with this thing. But what's so cool about this proper sizing structure and the flexibility of doing it. Once I'm trading with micros, right? So let's say I was 1 micro in, the trade went below my actual entry point. I could come in with 4 more micros, which is my maximum size on my first opening trade, and the exit was shorter, right? I got a better fill on the second level, so the exit was shorter, and therefore I could take out the whole position at the shorter exit, and pull myself out. Oh yeah. This is precisely Kat. It's exactly why I'm. First of all, Wednesday is going to be the biggest pain in the ass. I almost don't even want to trade Wednesday because it's FOMC day. I'm actually thinking Wednesday maybe we're going to trade when Jerome is doing his presser, because it's so fucking boring, pre-presser of Wednesday. I think I'm actually not going to trade Wednesday. We're going to trade the Jerome presser. And that's why I'm so excited about Tuesday, because we still have a day to trade tomorrow, even if it's relatively quiet. It's still a better day than pre-FOMC day always. So yeah, absolutely. Nettie, where are you from, my friend? Oh, Miami. Nice. You trade spot what? Spot FOREX? We're going to get you on the future side, my friend. Nettie, where are you from? How's our friend gold doing? It's dumped its way all the way down. So here's where it gets interesting, right? So gold finally found a little bit of a support level. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why can I not do this? This always drives me nuts. I guess it's this way. This gold is so stretched out. I can't even compress this. There we go. Okay. I can't even compress the thing. So if gold turns around, right, it's going to be a while. But when it does turn around with our setup, we're going to have the highest chance of it actually being a workable turn trade. Trust me on this. If and when this gives me a green go, and I'm going to show you how it's going to trade, that should be a much better green go than the usual green go that we've been trading. Right now, we've got nothing going on here, so nothing much going on. Jim, nice to meet you. Where are you from, my friend? Are you trading gold? Are you trading? Are you trading CFDs? How the fuck are you trading CFDs out of Miami, my friend? Are you a non-US national? It all depends. It all depends on all that stuff. All those questions about risk and structure and everything else, those are coaching questions. Come to coaching with me. Here's my coaching link. Go out there. We talk about them every coaching week. Oh, India. Okay, nice. Yeah, I got you. Don't worry. I am the world's worst speller. I'm dyslexic like everybody else. I'm like AI. Just give me 3 letters that make sense, and I will understand your what you're typing. How come you're still in the NQ trade, Fabio? Did you get a bad fill, or did you just you sort of like, I got a better fill than you, and I was able to get out of it a little bit earlier? Which, by the way, like it's another thing that you can do. Like the cool thing about this particular structure is maybe you want to do half at entry, and if it goes against you, half at the lower entry, and then resolve the whole trade that way. It's like a million different ways to trade the new structure setup to just optimize your winning as much as possible. Okay. My friend, what do you think I'm showing you? See this account? This account is $400 away from getting funded. The account started on Friday. Let me show it to you. What is that? The 18 account? Let me show you the 18 account. Okay, so this is 18. Let's see if I can show you the reports. Let's do it this month, because this account literally, see this account? This is that account. It started two days ago. Okay, happy to show you. You guys always know, you see all my trades. I don't hide them, baby. I don't hide them. Boom, 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 boom. These are all my trades, okay? So that should inspire you, but none of that should matter, because it doesn't matter how much money I make. The whole point of us trading is how much money you guys make, okay? Oh, you were just a couple of ticks away. Yeah, that happens. It's okay. That's why sizing. That's why Fabio. That's why sizing is also key, right? How's the gold? Are we turning on gold yet? No, not yet, but getting close. I mean, gold is kind of like. Oh, I actually missed this trade over here. So if you were trading gold, this is a setup for us too. So why is this setup? Because red slope, red dot, prior dot is green dot, right? It's either no dot or the opposite momentum. And that would have been a pretty decent trade. Although it's kind of, you can see it's kind of really bottoming out here for the time being. What was the close on this? 33.05. What's the low on this? Yeah, this would have totally made it. Totally made it. Made on the structure. So, you know, okay, that happens. Who's got questions? Let me get up to half on this size. Everybody on Twitter, guys, please come on over to the YouTube channel and ask me questions there, or you see this QR code? Just take this QR code. Oh shit! I'm giving you the wrong code, guys. Sorry. I keep giving you the wrong code. This is BK Save. If you use BK Save 90, it isn't going to work. Just sorry. BK Save. Drop the 90. The 90 no longer works. I didn't realize I had the outdated code here. So everybody who's on Twitter who wants literally $15, $50,000 accounts, or $25, $50,000 accounts, whatever the fuck they are, like load up on those. But just make sure you use the word BK Save. BK Save, okay? Don't use a 90. BK Save. NQ possibly setting up here. I'm watching it. Ben, you're asking me about sizing? Okay, super easy. You take the first number of the size of the 25,000. What's the first number? 2 micros. 50,000. What's the first number? 5 micros. 150,000. What's the first 2 numbers? Obviously. Or if you go to 150, if you go above 100,000, start with a mini. What's the first number? 1 mini. $250,000 account. What's the first number? 2 minis. So anything below 100,000, you go on the micro size. Anything above 100,000, you go on the mini size. That will keep you on the right side of trading for a very long time. No, Tony. It's BFF dots. Maybe you were away, so you didn't email me to enable it. Okay. This, by the way, you want this indicator. Everybody who's listening to me who is part of BK and you don't have it, the reason you don't have it is because you're not part of coaching. Oh shit! I got to trade. Long. Oh, fuck! I'm double long. Shit! I'm getting out of here. Sorry. I can't talk and trade at the same time. So I was yapping. I missed the trade, and I actually hit twice. It was too much size, so it doesn't matter. This whole trade would have gotten done. But my rule now is, if I mishit my size, I don't give a shit where I'm at. I'm always out. In other words, if I'm too much on my size on the trade, I don't sit there and wait for hope. I just simply get out. Oh my God, guys, how hard is it for everybody to understand on size? Let me ask you, on a $25,000 account, what's the first number? Two micros. Anything below 100,000, you're in the micro land. Anything above 100,000, you're in the mini land. So 25,000, your opening trade is 2 micros. 50,000, your opening trade is 5 micros. Anything above 100,000, your opening trade is 1 mini on 100,000. 250,000, 2 minis. You can round up, round down, whatever you want. But I don't know how to make it any easier. Is that clear to everybody? Okay. Cool. All right, a little bit of profit taking in the MNQ. Let's go see what gold is doing with itself. Not much. It's trying to base. We're far away from finding a buy trade in gold. I was just looking at gold here. If we had a red dot, it would be a legitimate gold sell trade. But we'll come back to gold here. All right. Looks like it looks like Nasdaq is turned a negative slope here, right? Negative slope. This is not a trade. You could make this argument that this is a legit trade, kind of, but it's a little too wishy-washy for me, because the red slope, it's very hard to see. It looks to me like the red slope is half red, half green on this particular candle structure. So I'm going to just simply pass. I'm going to wait. If this indeed is a sell-off in the Nasdaq, there'll be a true signal for us, a candle or two down the road. We don't have to take every single signal. We've had I don't even know how many trades we've had. I've had like 6 or 7 trades with you guys already in just a matter of 30 minutes. Ben, what's absol mean? Is that absolutely? Is that what you're trying to put up? So Nasdaq is consolidating, trying to see if it wants to go a little bit higher. Honestly, guys, we've had a very, very strong rally in Nasdaq over the last couple of days. I would not be surprised if today is one of those days. I really would not be surprised. Today is one of those days where my friend Jason Shapiro, who's a great trader, if you haven't seen his interview on Market Wizards in the latest book, it's really, really great. So Jason always has like this great trick where if the news is positive, but the price action ends negative, that could be a turn day. I don't know if today is going to be a turn day, but if you think about this, today the news is positive. Trump just beat the living shit out of the Europeans today, right? It should be more positive news for the market, but we've had so much positive sentiment in the market over the last few days. The positioning is really skewed to the upside. So it's not at all unreasonable to think that maybe we just simply get a little bit of a sentiment sell-off today, and that could be really interesting to see as the day goes by. For us, it doesn't matter. We're trading on a 2-minute chart. If it's going to be negative, it'll show up. If it's going to be positive, it'll show up. We just look for the micro moves in a direction, but just generally, it does feel like it could be a sell-off day today. By the end of the day, it'll be interesting to see if that indeed is the case. Look at this. Look at this poll. 96% of you want to learn how to trade futures. And I hope you guys are learning how to trade futures because I'm having so much fun with you guys. I love hitting trades on a great setup. And this is as good a setup as you could possibly imagine. All right, hang on just 1 second. Just bear with me a second. I gotta let my son is not only going to interrupt us, but he's of course in New York City. He is interviewing for a job, so of course he's going to interrupt me during live trading. Okay, hopefully he's good and he's in here. Where are we on gold? Has gold done anything? Oh, gold has got to buy. So let's see if this works for us. So why is this a gold buy? Now you see I jumped right over it because it was pretty clear visual evidence. We had a green dot, we had a buy dot, white dot, but it's a buy dot, green slope, and the prior candle was a non-dot candle. So the target here on gold, where the fuck am I? Is 093 to 10.1. 10.1 is our target. Let's see if gold has enough juice to come back. Let's see if they can bring it back here. Wow. I love the fact 96% of you. This is why you're here. This is literally why we're here. Learning how to trade futures. World's greatest instrument. $10.1 is my target right over here. That's what we're looking at. But it's a pretty sharp turn. So even the best setup can run into resistance because, it's kind of a V-shaped move here, right? If we're over here, basically what's happening is we have kind of like a V-shaped form here. And that could be, just may not have enough juice for us to turn around. We'll see. And there's a lot of selling on gold. So, so here's the other thing that I love to do here. The other thing that I love to do. So this is the beauty of having multiple accounts. Multiple accounts are there for you to focus on just the setup. Don't worry about winning and losing the setup. It's just focusing on the setup. Right now, what you're seeing here, let me get rid of this shit. I hate this thing. What you're seeing here right now is the slope turning red, right? And a red dot forming. The prior dot above this is not a red dot. So if this turns red and it gives us a negative sell, we're going to go to the other account, go to the 102 account and give ourselves a sell trade, even though, we're still in the buy trade, because occasionally you're going to get signals on both sides of the market and you want to take advantage of them if they appear. The symbol is MGCQ. Q, not U. It's Q. It's August. Gold is August. MGCQ. Gold is trading August. NASDAQ trading September. Welcome to the world of futures. Nothing ever is simple and clear. Guys, the code is BKSAVE, not BKSAVE90, just BKSAVE. If you type in BKSAVE90, it's not going to work. Just put in BKSAVE. Right? Go out there, get some 90% accounts off. All right, not a signal for us. On the sell side, still putzing around on gold. We'll see. Is gold building up a base here? Certainly hope so. Certainly it looks that way, right? I definitely wanted to do that. Here's another trick. Okay, you're welcome to do it or not do it, but honestly, doing it with gold is like my least favorite thing to do. But it's totally viable. So let's look at this structure right now. We're in a trade, right? The trade is a little bit out of the money for us. However, what's happening is at lower levels, if this thing holds at lower levels, we actually have a secondary setup. This is a buy setup at a little bit better price than the original setup, right? Which is why the beauty of trading small sizes. You can do two things. You can add to your position in one account, or if you were really conservative, you can just go to another account. So I can go to the I'm in the 102. This account is 110. The one that we're in is 110. I can go to the 102 account and just replicate this trade at better prices, giving myself a chance of at least one account hitting that trade, right? And if things go well, maybe both accounts hitting that trade. So we're gonna replicate it in two separate accounts, because I always teach you like the safest techniques, even though you guys know that when I'm trading myself, I'm always taking the much more dangerous techniques for my own accounts. That doesn't matter. But for teaching purposes, we're gonna separate the risk here. Boom, long. So this is a legit setup. Why is it a legit setup? Because I have a green dot. Prior dot is actually a red dot. It's not even a neutral dot. It's a negative dot. And this one now is 904. So if I go into this account, which is the 102, the entry is 806 to 904. Now, whether this works or not, who knows? It's fucking gold. Its whole function in life is to torture us, right? But it's a legit setup. And it gets done on this particular account. So now we got to go to the 110 account. And by the way, so now you're like in 110 account. Let's say you say, oh, I made money in this other account. What if I don't even care about this thing? Now I can just simply flatten myself out. What the fuck is the flattening position? I can just flatten myself out and get myself out of the other account, because I got myself into a better. I got myself into the winning trade at a better price, right? You can do that too. So in this case, one account won, the account scratched. Totally legitimate, perfectly okay, because all you're doing is growing the account until it hits target. That's all you need to do. It's just a little bit of moderate risk management. Now, in my own, if I was doing this like off camera, in the original account, I would have added two more in the original account, and then blown the whole account would have been net positive at a better price. It's kind of averaging in, but it's only averaging in if you have the signal. You're not averaging in blindly. You're averaging in because you had a legit second signal while it was trading, right? Everybody sees that? So that was gold on this situation. All right, now we got negative movement on NASDAQ. Really interesting. Okay, so NASDAQ is kind of negative movement. And the beauty of the setup is that we're totally cool now in terms of looking for a setup, because all we need now, like we have the negative slope. We need just a red dot, because this is a neutral dot. If we get a red dot here, that would be a sell for us. If it's a couple of candles down with a red dot, all the better. But until we get a red dot, there's not a structure, right? Not a setup. You're not guessing into this trade. Everybody follow me on the money management aspect of it. When you're trading proper size, what I mean proper size, that size is so small that you have flexibility to do other things. You can do these things. That's the beauty of the shortcut. 2 for 25, 5 for 50, 1 mini for the 100,000, 2 minis for 250,000. Right? Super easy to remember. Who's been Ali? You've been trading this. Who's been trading the setup? Kat, Catherine, Miguel. Everybody. Anybody been trading the setup I showed you today? Christopher, how are you? Let me know. Let me know your feedback. Are you hitting it? Are you digging it? Rick, you've been hitting it. I want to know. Do you like it? You're fine. I think with this setup, you have it's legitimate. It's totally legitimate to not do repair trade. I'm trying to move away from repair trade as much as possible. That's the whole point of the reason why I love the setup is it's so fucking accurate. It makes repair trades pretty rare. You know. All right, looking for moves. Oh, I'm just curious. Do you think gold went to 10? What was it high over here? 9.8. I mean, it would have been very, very close to getting done. So, having faith in the process. The first dot would have just been net positive. The second dot was perfectly positive. But isn't that cool? Isn't that cool how you could manage the, if you get the secondary signal, you can come in for more size because first of all, you size properly and just simply, manage the trade out. Kind of give it a, second shot on the move. I don't know what's going on over here. NASDAQ is just trying to figure out what it wants to do with itself. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you. It's an awesome setup, right? I'm telling you, I said to myself Friday, this cannot be this fucking easy. And then I just did 20 trades in a row on Friday. And I was like, damn, I got to show this to everybody on Monday. All right. So is everybody going to come in for the marathon Tuesday tomorrow? All the Europeans, it's perfect time for you guys. And good, it's good time for the Asians too. It's going to be a little bit brutal for the Americans, but hey, I'll be going long. I'll be going to 10, 11 o'clock tomorrow. All right. I got to go get a, I got to go, I got to have a true New York fuel breakfast. I'm going to get a bacon, egg, and cheese or I'm going to have it delivered. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to deliver on air. I'm going to deliver from my deli on air so that we have a true New York breakfast, and I'll show you the full delivery. Yeah, I agree, Andy. I agree. All right, we're putzing around here. By the way, look how tight the price action is. Just like we're moving, 4 points, 5 points in 10 minutes, which is just nothing in NASDAQ. We should be moving that in 4 seconds. Just very little activity today. Also, by the way, very cool because this setup, when there's no activity, there's no signals, right? It's the beauty of this thing. And even when there's slow activity, because we're looking for such small moves, enough of that happens. Enough of that happens to make it viable. 42 seconds left. Let's see what the gold is doing. Gold blew right in there. Blew right in there. Totally took us into a trade. Great job on that. Now we stay patient. Now I want to stay patient. If I get another green dot, we have a neutral dot, a neutral candle. Get another green dot on this. Maybe gold does a nice V-shaped recovery. We'll come back to gold in a minute. Yeah, it's exactly right, Fabio. How many days? How many days does it take to pass the count consistently with the strategy? So, Manoj, I'll share with you my trick. When I do these strategies, first of all I zero in on what I consider to be a really, really good setup, right? Like I wait patiently until I get a good setup. Then I go huge. I go 10 contracts, and I do that 2 or 3 times to basically get myself to like $52,000, right? In 3 trades, I give myself an hour, build myself to 50,000, and then after at around 52,000, then I go back to just doing small size for about 2 or 3 days. So it's kind of a combination of like, hey, let's build up a large base, and then after that, it's about 2 or 3 days till I get funded. That's sort of like my approach. You can do even more aggressive where it's like just one trade, or you can do it like, I've did a video. You guys can see I did a video on YouTube, on our YouTube channel, where I passed one in 90 minutes, and it was just all large. So I just did 10, 10, 10. Just hit the fucking setups, and within an hour you could hit it. You also want to do that obviously at optimal times. Like the best times in the market to try and do that, in my opinion, would be like 11 o'clock New York till about 2 p.m. New York, right? The London close, where you get lots of sort of generally movement, that happens. But then, there's 1,000 different ways to do this. After I get funded, no. After you get funded, as you see me right now, some of these are funding accounts. Some of them are funded accounts. Funded accounts, I'm only trading small size, proper size per account. I'm just growing them very, very leisurely. I don't give a damn if it takes me 100 years to fund the account. But the whole idea with funded accounts is you're trying to grow them intelligently. You're not gambling with large size. Easiest way to lose your funded account is just to get large. And believe me, I've done it 1,000 times. I have lost, at least 10 funded accounts by over leveraging. And that is the one key thing I learned of not doing. So I don't give a shit if it takes me 1,000,000 days to get paid out. It's still a better strategy than blowing your account. Yep. We've all done that. It's a lot of fun. So the greatest seduction, but also the greatest danger, is we've all passed super fast. And the whole idea is that when you get serious, you can't do that. You can't do large size, both because the rules are different, but also because you're guaranteed to blow yourself up. Okay. Joe says he needs to make a cheat sheet for funded account rules. I'm on the verge of getting, you know what? Oh, Joe. So, my best friend Claude AI actually gives me a full summary of the funded account rules, and I can have it make a beautiful, beautiful cheat sheet for us. You just gave me a great fucking idea. Just great idea. I'll try to do this, maybe even by tomorrow. I'll have him do that, and maybe we can make it into a Canvas slide, and I'll put it up. It's not hard. It's really, really not hard, but there are absolutely key rules, and they need to be explained. Right. There's like a 7-day pass. You can't make more than $500 per day. You cannot lose more, like your greatest drawdown cannot be more than 30% of your net P&L. It's a little bit complicated, so you have to provide examples, which I will do. But like, it's super. Once you have AI explain it to you, it's super easy to understand. Yeah. Are you quoting the Eagles to me, Rick? Oh. Sorry, guys. Meal was great. Apex guys are great. Hopefully we're going to do some really fun stuff. For those of you guys in Florida, just wait. We're going to have some really fun stuff with you guys in Florida. I mean, in Southern Florida, you know, the real Florida. I'm just kidding. I can't wait, man. We're gonna have some lots of fun. Am I looking at a dot? Is there a little dot? Is there a tiny little dot showing up on my thing? Perhaps. No. Just teasing me. What's going on in gold? Gold is not doing anything. Gold is kind of consolidating a little bit. All right, so everybody's consolidating. I'm probably going to wrap it up with you guys today because I got a meeting galore stacked around. I wanted to share this thing with you today, and you know, we hit I think we had every single trade with one exception in gold today. So we really did nice P&L'd. P&L'd on everything today. So as I said, where am I on this thing? I am the one account I'm trying to shepherd this one. Less than $400 to target. Let's see how it goes. I'll probably just sort of, you know, I got to run today, so I'm not going to be able to trade much. So maybe marathon tomorrow. We're going to try and see if we can hit this account to target, which will be good. All right. Okay, guys. Thank you so much for everybody hanging out with me. BK save. Don't hit the 90. Just BK save. That's how you get 90%. Go to the link. Let me give you the link. All right, ignore the little thing, but it just, you know, BK save 90%. Okay, just go out there and do it. All right, everybody have a wonderful day. I see everybody tomorrow for marathon. Watch for the link. I'm going to post it a little bit later. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.